Hello there, everyone. My name is Chapman, and I'm a senior business coach for the ZING project, which is a coaching and mentoring company where we work one on one with salon owners just like you to give you freedom of time, an incredible team, and substantial money in your business. And what we are presenting on today is how to capitalize on the Christmas rush, how to cash in on the busiest month of the year. And I'm joined today with my partner in crime and work colleague, Marie. Do you want to say hello? Hello, Marie.
Hello there, Jay. Welcome. I am very excited to be presenting all about Christmas as well with yourself. And as a senior coach of the ZING project as well, this is an exciting topic for us to be working on.
And a very important topic. And the reason for that is December has your biggest opportunities for the year. You typically have the most amount of clients coming through the door. Up to 80% of your client base will visit you in the month of December, which is huge. Which, when you put into comparison that January can be your quietest month of the year, we really need to make sure that we nail the December period so that we can take a little bit of that cream off the top of December and make sure it plugs that gap in January. So let's get started. We only have just under 30 minutes and we've got a lot of content to cover. So the first thing is that typically in a salon environment, and every business is different, that this is December. Your cup's spilling over in every single way possible. And how we like to put it is Christmas is like a pressure cooker. You put in the good, the bad, the ugly, and you ramp it up to high. So the true colors come out in December. And one thing that we know for sure is that you will be booked out to capacity and your profit margins will be the highest that they possibly can be. And your trade is typically the best that it'll be for the rest of the year. Now, the challenge being with that, the biggest challenge of Christmas isn't December itself. It's the fact that its twin sister right next door is January, and the cup isn't spilling over, the cup's half full. So the surplus that you do in December has to plug the gap in January. And what we find, if we were to put January and December's figures together and divide those figures by 8.5, which is the amount of time, we find that you will have a below average week. Now, that means that by the end of January, your February is catch up. So the next 3 months in your business are absolutely crucial to make sure that you don't spend a whole quarter with a half empty cup. So if you play your cards right and you have some careful planning and you take our advice on what we're presenting today, you'll make sure that you have a rip snorting December with that extra on the top that you actually get to keep because your January is healthy as well.
Exactly, Jay. And around having a plan. So why do we feel like we run through business blindfolded and not have a plan? December and January is your biggest opportunity, and you would have around 80 to 90% of your entire database coming in that period of time. So you need to make sure that you play your cards right and get your head out of the sand. Like, this is the time that if you're not preparing and planning correctly and properly, you actually won't get what you want out of your Christmas period. Why aren't you ready? It's always on the 25th of December. Every year, there's so much hype. People even still say, I can't believe she's got her Christmas tree up already. So why aren't you ready and thinking about how you can work smarter and unpack what doesn't work for you? You need to make this a plan from the 1st of January and plan it all throughout the year. So even if you're thinking right now, what you're getting ready right now for, you need to be writing and taking notes and prepare that for 2020 December. So make as many notes as you can. You don't stop doing things. So things like exercise, you don't stop doing. We work crazy, crazy hours, but we still do everything else. So don't stop doing and giving the most beneficial service to your client that extends January, February, and March and continues through the year. Just because it's Christmas, we can't stop doing everything else, is future planning as well.
Absolutely. And here's some of the points that we find where people slip up over the next few months. And the very first one is that we stop marketing our business. And when we think about marketing, there's two categories. There's marketing to get new people in the door. And the exercises that you will complete in December will mean that you will have new clients coming through the door in January where we really need them. So don't stop marketing in December. You still need to be inviting new clients in the door in January, but we also need to be marketing our gift vouchers and our product packs, and we need to be marketing our higher value price point services. So just because we have an influx of bums on seats and bodies on beds in December doesn't mean that we take our eye off the ball when it comes to making sure that we're marketing to those clients that are in our salon.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just prime time. So having a January plan and capitalising on the December clientele. And as I mentioned, that 80 to 90% of your client base are coming in. So how about if we had a plan for January that we gave every client a $10 voucher to just use in the month of January? And it could be off a certain service, or it could be just a monetary amount. But inviting the clients back in January will make your January sales increase.
Absolutely. And that strategy is so simple, we miss it.
We do.
It really is that simple. And the next thing is that we panic and work ourselves to absolute exhaustion. And that's why a lot of salon owners can't stand Christmas. They hate Christmas. They're Grinches. I was like that when I was in the salon. But the only time you panic and work yourself to exhaustion is if you don't have a good enough plan. So you need to plan that this Christmas will be different for you.
And all the extras, like you'll have clients that come in that are going to school breakups and parties. Capitalise on that. So does your menu or treatment services that you have to offer, does it cater for these areas? So do you do makeup but not much? Or do you have, hair styling but you don't really capitalise on that? So really think about ways that you could capitalise on doing extras for these clients that are coming in to go to events.
Absolutely. And I think it's also the next point is being smart about what you say yes to. And I'm guilty of this myself. Like it seems to be that I've got 6-year-old twins that all of their school friends are having their birthday parties now. And we have to filter the ones that we really should go to and the ones that we don't need to go to, because we're up to pussy's bow as it is, and we have to say no to things. You can't say yes to everything. So you need to be kind to yourself and get used to that word no.
The other one is about, shopping for gifts. Like all your clients would be shopping for Christmas gifts. So if they haven't done their shopping, then explain to them that we have gift vouchers here, or have you had a look at our gift packs that we have? Sometimes it's about making suggestions, but even for yourself, to take the hard work out of shopping for gifts, have you even thought about 1 or 2 gifts that you could give to all of your friends and family? I know for myself, now I don't have a salon anymore. One thing I noticed in a salon the other day was there was mini hair dryers, and I thought that would be a perfect gift for my nieces. So I've bought 6. Like that's done and dusted. They've all got a different colour. I know Jay mentioned there was something he bought the other day as well, and he bought multiple of them. Some gifts can be really transparent to everybody. So really think about your gifts and take the hard work out of it.
Absolutely. And I think the last thing is that we don't ask for help. So we know that if we have juniors in our salon, that they are going to be busy with the support work. So have a think about who could answer the phone in your business, who could do the transactions. You don't need to be a hairdresser or a beauty therapist to sweep and to clean and to make coffee. So we need to ask for help more often when it comes to December in our busy time. So many other businesses and jobs and careers slow down this time of year, whereas we get busier. So there's people out there that would love a bit of temporary work for December. I remember I've had my mum, my sister, one of my qualified team members' mums, and I remember her name was Jaldi. Jaldi came in and I heard her answer the phone. And I said, "What are you doing answering the phone?" And she said, "It can't be that hard." I didn't know the answer, so I came and I got Paige. And I thought, that's so funny. So people are more capable than what you think. You just need to ask for help and put it out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we've all done that in business, isn't it? We've had the parents come and help us, or mum's doing the bookwork, or, you know, you've got someone like your girlfriend making teas and coffees out the back, whatever you need to do to get it through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a really great slide. So stop and think about it, is taking care of yourself. Like, you have to keep doing this. So things around meal prep. So if you've only got Sunday left, prep your meals for the week so you eat. Like, we're going into the busiest period, and I know we've all done it, is, you know, you have a tin of tuna and rice out the back. But let's set up ourselves for success in December by prepping meals, less sugar and carbs, of course, and going to bed with no devices. Like, that's so important. You go to bed with a clearer mind and you wake up with a clearer mind. So no Netflix and off to bed early. People can do what we do. We just don't ask for help. As Jay mentioned before, we need to stop and think, like, is there enough systems, or is there a system that you could put in place that could help you in an area of your business for your team to step up? So don't squeeze every client into your column. Ask for help. Someone in your team can help you. So if you're going to fit myself in for colour and foils and a toner, train and put the time in and some systems in place that one of your stylists could do the toner and the blow away. Or if it's in beauty, that you could have someone help at the front of house that maybe can be using the reception area for on-selling services and rebooking. Like, really put a plan in place for every aspect of your business so that it runs really smooth and you look like that duck that's smooth sailing and the feet are going flat out underneath the water. So everyone can help you in the business. You just need to ask for help.
Your team needs a leader at this time of year. And if you hate Christmas, and if you are running flat out off your feet and you're drinking cans of V and stressed and hating life, there's a thing called empathy. And empathy means that people can sponge off other people in their environment. So if you're dragging yourself around in the gravel, you need to put your chin up and you need to lead by example. And the risk is that if you, as the salon owner and the team leader, are not being a positive influence on your team, that's going to rub off. And we know for a fact that when you're not a 10 out of 10, your service delivery is not a 10 out of 10. So you need to step up and have a good look at yourself in the mirror and think about what kind of influence are you putting on your team over this busy period of time. And I know that sometimes we can be really excited with the momentum of December, but when it's quieter in January, we can lose that momentum and we really suffer with rattling around in an empty column in a salon. So just make sure that you're filling your time in January being a positive role model and an influence to your team, and the same in December as well. So without a good leader in your salon, the wheels fall off, and this is what happens. The first one looks lost, the other one's confused, and the last one with chubby little arms is absolutely devastated. And more now than ever, the Gen Ys and the millennials, they need a leader. They're looking up to someone that will inspire them, that will motivate them, that will take them to that next level. And if you're not doing that in the pressure cooker of December, when will you do it? So now it's time to step up and be the leader that you know that you can be in your salon. So the next thing is that there's a few common areas in business that we do drop the ball on, that you cannot afford to drop the ball on. And the first thing is we need to keep up the 20% of the activities that make you 80% of the money. And number one is rebooking. We need to make sure that everyone that comes through the door in December is making their appointment for 2020. And we also need to make sure that our productivity is high. That comes into suggesting services, add-ons, and it also comes down to suggesting retail products. What we typically find as salon coaches is that salon owners drop the ball on motivating their team on these KPIs and performance indicators. And the retail drops, the rebooking drops, the average client spend drops, the service level drops. And that's where the money's hiding in your business. And when you make sure that your productivity is high, you can guarantee that there's going to be enough money to get you through that January period while you've got people on holidays.
Yeah. And thinking about yourself as well, coming back to a bit of self-awareness, only good can come from you getting a real break. So if you can mark out some time, and I know we are in the busiest period, but even if that is just a Monday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, and that's your time, you need some time to refresh and make sure that you're really focused to get through this period of time, to keep the team focused as well, because without you as the leader, you will fall down.
And it's about having those small breaks like what Marie mentioned, and maybe just going out for a coffee or walking around the reserve or something. But it's also about thinking, okay, well, how many weeks off did you take last year? And how many weeks off are you going to take this year? And one thing that we're really fortunate about in our industry is if we take next week off, the clients don't say, okay, that's okay, I'll just go somewhere else. They'll come in this week, or they'll come in the week after. So you don't miss out on that trade and you get a break. Whereas if you had a clothing store, someone will go to walk in the door and they'll just go somewhere else. They're not going to wait to buy a dress for next week. So in our business, we're really lucky we are able to take the time off. Cool. So the team will step up if you step back. Okay. So we need to allow them to help you with your clients. Do the brow waxes and the simple services. Do the fringe trims when your clients come in. Tint around the foils when you're doing some color work. Allow them to step up while you step back and you do the high value jobs that your business needs you to do.
And as Jay mentioned before as well, I think the retail and the rebooking is the momentum that you shouldn't stop, because over this period, we all know our minds get extremely busy and your next client's walking in the door or she's coming early. That momentum of taking on board what the client's needs are and how they're going to look after their hair or skin at home is only going to help you look after the client, but keep the momentum coming. So if you stop, it's really hard to restart. And by January, we do become exhausted. So keep the momentum happening and don't drop the ball.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thinking about leave, it sounds like it's a ticking bomb, doesn't it? But if you were to go to even just an Officeworks or an office supply place and get a calendar for 2020 and mark the leave out that you want to take, it would be awesome, I'm sure, in your eyes, if you could take 4 to 6 weeks off a year. But if you don't mark it out, we always resent the team for them marking out time and you never get the time off. So do it at the start of the year and book your holidays in so you don't miss out. The worst thing is thinking that you get to this time of year and I've only had 4 days off or I've only had a week off. You need to think about, if you're not looked after, how is the team looked after and your business?
Absolutely. It's like when they say on the aeroplanes, put your own oxygen mask on before you help everyone else with their oxygen mask. It's so true, isn't it?
Very true. So what we'd like to do is, from Jay and myself, we'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and capitalise on the busiest time of the year, but make sure that you're forecasting it into January with little promotions that bring you through to a successful January as well.
Absolutely. And just think about when you have the more capacity in January, book in the team training you've been wanting to do. Book in the half-day love-in where you get lunch in, you close the salon, you have a team meeting, you engage with them, you set your goals, but also think about the higher end services that you would have time to do. Let's promote your dermapen services. Let's promote your keratin and hair extensions when you actually have time to do them in the salon. It is such a great opportunity over the next few months. So just make sure that you're focusing your energy in the right area. And as Marie said, a very Merry Christmas. It sounds crazy because we're recording this and it's still November, but it really is just around the corner, isn't it?
Certainly is. Have a great Christmas, everyone.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.